Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back to the Sexy Brutale. Now, I suppose this game is fairly brutal. The sexy part, not so much in the name of a casino. Um, um, this is a casino. That's not the worst name for a casino, certainly, but it does certainly just feel like it's a kind of eye-catching name. I wonder if these spinners stay the same each time. And I imagine we aren't escaping the Sexy Brutale anytime soon. What I'm trying to do here is mostly just look around. Like, there's something around this that is still blocked, which I assume is a ghost. But we do have the lighter now, so we can use some of that, and we have lock-picking abilities. So there's all kinds of opportunities here. There's the gold-headed guy. Let's go ahead and shatter this window. I don't know why we shattered that window, other than now we are in a new area. Interesting. Okay. So we now have another section that we can look at. And the game is still oddly herky-jerky around all of this. When you go up and down the level. Boy, does that audio sound different now with all these sound effects. Wow. I really was not expecting us to lead towards this. This feels like this is an Easter egg. And so we see this woman in red, and she's rocking a cradle, although we don't really see a baby there. She's pregnant. So I think we've probably just found a secret, as it were, towards what's going on here, where there's this weird timeline, time manipulation element. And maybe that baby is me, maybe that baby is the gold helmet bad guy. But certainly this is different. And she had a mirror in the background there, so I assume that mirror also is an indicator. Can't go over here on the edges. I could probably go this way. Let's see if there's anything to press a button on. That doesn't seem like there is. For the most part, though, not really interactable items. I feel like that's what we're going to just keep running into, is that there's just going to be a lot of non-interactable items. And I'm not even trying to get the general idea of a storyline. Oh, hello, you look like a man of taste. Are you headed to the main library? Would you see if you can find me a decent mystery, something devilishly tricky, a real noodle scratcher? If you happen to find such a thing, would you bookmark it for me? Here, use this. So we now have been given the King of Clubs, which at a certain level I feel like there's probably a argument that you're not actually going to bookmark it and use that, and you just are now going to get a lot more of the items that you can get through. Well, we can now lockpick this. Where are we? It's interesting when you look at the photos on either side of that, how there is a realistic depictions of humans' faces. This one talks about Tequila Bell, collected songs by Tequila Bell. So it does just kind of feel like somebody's gonna die by getting hit by the chandelier here. And yeah, we may very well now start going down the path of getting a lot of collectibles. The game decided to save at that point, which seems weird. Almost certainly there's some kind of secret behind all of this. Now this is interesting because this is taking me to a room on the second floor that looks very similar to that room, but it's kind of rotated. Some of these references to books seem like it might be a thing. We're just running out of time at this point. So I'm just trying to get to as many places as possible. So we broke the chandelier, but I think we'd have to get back to that location. And very possibly I'm just going in an area that doesn't even matter. Like I don't even know specifically where I'm supposed to be at this point. But it probably benefits you to go back to that area and rush as fast as possible. Try to take some different paths. Can we lockpick this? So no, we need to probably unlock that door on the other side if we're gonna do that. And there might be a narrative reason to do it that way. See, that one is lit up again. It does put you in this kind of funny position. This one isn't lit up though, so if I'm gonna make a big deal around that, I'm gonna have to probably accomplish something more. It is possible that you have to set a checkpoint in some way. So this guy is a ghost. Or there is a ghost in this room, but I don't think there's a way to really set a candle and light a candle and talk to the ghost in that room. So it does kind of feel like what's going to happen is you're going to end up following ghosts if you don't recognize the ghosts. So we may very well have to learn their paths. See, that breaks that candle downward. So we just need to probably rush at some level. And there's more to see. So I'm gonna just run back to this area. This is a funny little puzzle game in the sense that the real puzzle is investigating the areas and learning the patterns. It creates a situation where you can't make the house insanely big compared to something like The Witness, where you have an entire island of puzzles. But there's no chill, as it were, in this game. No time where you can just lay back and think about a puzzle. You have to move fairly quickly, and so there's this sense of urgency as it is around always walking around, always looking at new things, always trying to figure out the solution. This drivel in this library, I ask you. I mean, that shelf there. Handwritten, unpublished notes from some tiresome chap, Da Vinci, I think. The whole section over there. Kind of boring tit banging on about Raymond hypothesis. They've cracked yawn. The bookshelf at the back pulled the blaze out, and the shelf next to it moves. Health hazard, eh? Where is all the smut, sir? Where's the illustrated geographical studies of disrobed tribes people? Where are the art books with bosoms and gentlemen's statues? I find the lack of good old-fashioned obscenity to be a complete indecency. So this is probably that same pervert ghost, unless there's just multiple pervert ghosts in the game. But I think I need a moment to myself. So we got some knowledge there. And in that knowledge, one of these bookcases opens another door. I'm still not sure if there isn't a bigger code that is involved in all this. And see, the map certainly is telling me things. But I don't even know still if we've learned everything there is to learn. We need to find the winding key now that we finally found a secret passage. Although maybe we don't need the winding key so much at this point. Heaven and Hell stairs. And we are just going all over the place. I'm still completely uncertain as to... There's the winding key. Let's make use of it. It seems like we can. And let's set this as our new startup point. Even though there is a lot of other stuff to look at. Nope, that's the Heaven and Hell winding key. Not this area. So we still have to find a different clock. Seeing a lot of statues of masked girls. Yeah. We could totally be just in the wrong place though. It's totally possible. We really haven't observed anybody. We don't know where these characters are. They could be very far away, and that's why we haven't seen their death. Let's go and wind this key. And set this as our new default spot. We may very well be at a point where almost every room in the mansion seems to have a place where you can sit and talk. Yeah, we very possibly are at a point where we just have full unfettered access to the entire facility. Here we have something. And see, this is locked. Let's see. So someone's down there, but I can't really see them. Aram, you're safe. They're talking about Lucas and Aram. Aram Runes is one of the people, or it's supposed to be. Can't keep a good man down. Did you manage to change the statues? The symbols on this monument shouldn't match. I did like you said, no troubles. Ah, good, good. I knew you are struggling to believe me, but this will work. Did you change all 4 statues? The bar, the library, the piano room, and here. Entrance hall, I must have missed that one. I don't think that the statues have been set correctly. This is very much not ideal. Ah, it opened. I did like you asked. Can't you believe it worked? Though? Can't believe it worked though. What did you say this thing used to be before you turned it into an elevator? It was part of an old furnace system. Furnace? What the hell are we doing climbing into a furnace, man? Poofed. It's all been disconnected, of course. Lucas had me create an entirely new, highly efficient heating network. Are you sure it feels warm in here? It does. Oh no. Alright, well they're dead. The good news is, let's come over here and see what we've unlocked. Switch rooms. In the theater. In the hungry lock. In the guest room. This is all stuff we've seen before. Well, the good news is it seems like we now know we are in the right area, which does really imply the library is the wrong area. And that there's a lot of other stuff, certainly, to still do. At some point we are going to be using these, we're obviously going to be using the mirrors as shortcuts to get from one place to another. Right, so we can't cross this path. Okay. So, more than likely, if we zoom in a little bit here, there is one room up in this area we haven't investigated and seen. There's probably a decent amount of ghosts and stuff that we have to come back and deal with in this area, and probably locked chests. So when we get back to it, that's going to be a thing. Kind of have to zoom out now. The zooming out and zooming in. Alright, so they said there was one here, one in the entrance, one in the bar, which must be in this like corner that we haven't reached yet that's being blocked by the snake, or up higher. There obviously is another room up in that section. And then the piano room was also mentioned, but I don't see what the trick there is. We have a unwound clock now that we're still going to look for a winding apparatus, which is probably in this room. But we're going to kind of do that later. And we have 2 rooms that we've just missed. 2 or 3 rooms. So let's go ahead and just click the left trigger, although it didn't let me actually click the left trigger because I was already too close to everything rewinding. I imagine the trick here is that I need to unconfigure the spinners so that they don't match. Or I do need to configure the spinners so they do match. First thing I want to do is see that, yes, 2 of them are lit up and glowing green at this point, and there's a bad guy, and I don't know if he's going to come down the stairs or say anything. Yeah, the first spin seems to mess up one of them. I wonder if there are multiple statues that have to be set multiple different ways. We have a Bible quote that's a big old wall of text. There's a lot of art on the wall. Arguably, I would say they've over-designed the environment in the paintings and under-designed the characters in the game. That seems weird. Right. This one's missing an arm. Okay. So we need to find the arm, and the puzzle gets more complicated at that level. Peepholes, but I can't look through them myself. So at some point we're going to be able to peephole into that area, but not now. Yeah, a lot of these statues are also just like the staff here, they have different year. This is all wrong. I trust Orm, but who's the judgment? Oh, Mr. Gorick. Are you lost, sir? I know this mansion can be a little overwhelming. Lost? Lost? My family designed and built this mansion, you little... I mean, of course I am not lost. He's in a wheelchair. Aha, of course not. Very good, sir. Shall we also pretend you don't know this area is off limits? I'm looking for Lucas. The text really moves far too fast. I wish I could affect that. What the hell is that noise? Yes, yes. Audible yawn, sir. Exaggerated looking at my watch, sir. Now if you kindly excuse me. I have to pretend I have more pressing matters to attend to. Like a situation with the chamber pots in the guest rooms, for example. Or perhaps dragging a dead body out of the chapel. What did you say? Sir, nothing. Try not to die horribly while I'm gone. Good day. It honestly feels like if somebody decided to walk through this door that I'm looking at, I could just press A and swap places with them get a better look at this area. So we need to find the arm. We need to kind of figure out if these are all set up correctly. The bar does seem like it's the furthest one. So here's the entire dinner table, which that feels like this really should have been the, like, in the tutorial section where you would see the place cards and realize who's here. Painting with peepholes. So now that the painting with peepholes is available, I guess if we ever got to a dinner position, that would be something you could look through. Or we can do it now, I suppose. I don't really see anything other than there's a chandelier and a reflection of the chandelier, so maybe the chandelier would fall down. I kind of wonder if there isn't just another bar. Yeah, there's just this reflection here. But I almost certainly need some kind of like telepathic ability. It's very possible that leaving this area won't help me, and I'll just not find the winding key that I'm looking for, or the arm I'm looking for, because it's just not available to you yet. Like, yeah, something here clearly is stopping for faster transition. I don't even know who that was. But I did want to come back into this area. But yeah, I think the whole library section is to save somebody else. And it may just be a misnomer. I wonder if the reason this is so dark is in part because of that. That they're intentionally just dimly lighting sections you shouldn't be in, as a way of giving a subtle hint. Okay, library winding key we did find. So, at the very least, we should wind the library. And we've got probably just enough time to accomplish that if we rush. And then we'll reset again. Although, noticeably, in this episode, it's very easy to double tap the A button. It really shouldn't let me do that. In this episode, we aren't seeming like we're going to actually be able to save the characters, and all we've really done is reset things. Right. The whole ghosts in room ability. Statue arm has been locked in place and cannot be moved. Interesting. So there is something more to this as this plays out. So what I'm gonna rush and do, since we're running out of time, is effectively reset ourselves to start over here. And then we'll just restart the day. So there's a whole timeline that we're missing where people are walking around resetting the slot machine arms and locking them down. And I've got to figure out some way to get around all of that. But honestly, I kind of don't want to do that. I want to instead wander around the rest of this area and figure out the collectibles. Let's see. Well, let's figure out these ghosts since they are right here. What does this guy have to say? The drinks here, man, they're like Tarantina's best, I reckon. Or the Bloody Agonizing Mary, maybe. Or the Singapore Sting, that's a good one too. But heck, even a plain old Cobra Libre will mess you right up. Even a virgin Coca Cobra has a kick. And at that time I had a Killer B-52 and thought I would die. I died and gone to hell. Good times, good times. So he's just talking about drinks. Welcome to the bar, friend. Every cocktail we serve here is made from a different variety of venom. Just a drop, you mind you. But he gives you drinks a kick like you wouldn't believe. The Marquis is a connoisseur when it comes to freaky drinks. All the creatures here, every one's venom adds a different flavor. And down in the casino, the things he's been growing there, I mean, wow, it's... Alright, I think you've had quite enough. The funny way, this is really giving you more hints towards the password. You don't know it? I didn't think so. Alright. Just go through here and then look through here. Hey, is that it? Shut up, you two. Is that? It's autumn rooms. Hey, even in a hangout like this, I can spot your handiwork a mile away, Willow. Man, I love his work. But if he doesn't know the password, then... Oh, shut up about your stupid password. Everyone knows it's Eleanor. Just let him through. Oh, Thanos said the statue is through. Fine, fine, but no one else gets a free pass. Alright. So now let's follow. And follow. Pull the arm, you say. And you can see there you go, just like you said. Can't say I wasn't willing to help a guy out, Thanos. Maybe just one quick drink. You can see that there's ghosts in this room. Right. So there's an entire like ghost band. Lots and lots of ghosts to talk to. Although this ghost lady looks different. Bands play on no matter what and no matter when. The band always plays. He oddly seems to still lose energy when he does that. Glass thing. What? What are you saying? I'm not about to steal anything. So in that case, he pulls the arm, but he didn't pull it enough to actually get it to light up. You know the term brown note? I invented that. So these are really just jokes. I was passed over for first saxophone. Interesting that there's 2 closets in this. I haven't seen Lucas around that once. You know anything about that? No sir, the master is often very busy. Yeah, but I haven't seen Ellie either. It does seem... Anyway, I guess I'll have to pass on another drink with Thanos. Alright, so... I now see why there's that. But inherently we are missing some storyline. Oh, this ain't right. Must be some sort of weird robots Lucas and Sixpence made. I mean, the blackjack dealer is something else. So the ghost just stole something from the guy. I think for a guy who designed this place, Dennis would put it in some more elevators. 1 hour until the show. So yeah, he did steal something. If you can offer me something seriously grisly for my costume, I will trade whatever I've found. Deal. So now he wants something. Meanwhile, the bartender is gone. Is there anything back here? So we're back into this room. So, yeah. We're slowly learning. I don't know what I'm supposed to offer that's seriously grisly. Feels like it would be a grizzly bear or something. If I go up here and check this place out, this is probably the wrong direction. It's probably not a place where I need to be. Alright, so the question is, where do I need to be? We found that code a while ago. Is this the right direction going up this way? Probably not. So let's not go that way. Is there more things that you can interact with? Now, that's the real question. Like, I'm looking for treasure chests and things like that, but I'm not sure that there really are treasure chests in these areas. These statues may mean something later, but I don't think they mean anything now. Here we go. There's one lockpick treasure chest, and almost certainly it is just going to be a card. Yeah, there's just far too many statues for them not to be something. See, I think I already collected that. Nope, I hadn't collected that. Interesting. But that does put me back here. So do we have all of the items? Let's just reset at this point. So in this episode we've gained knowledge, but that's all we've gained other than a few more cards which have some kind of backstory if you're going to spend the extra time to read all of that. But there clearly is a pattern as far as at some point we need to come and spin this one, but we kind of just need to follow the guy from wherever he starts, which probably means that there's a decent chance we need to reset our starting point to the clock in this corner, not starting where we are or starting at the entrance. By default, I think it would be fairly smart to start maybe at the entrance alone. I am noticing, we can't zoom in, but it definitely looks like there's an elevator system or something being depicted from a top-down or a sideways view when it really should be a top-down view to the left of the entrance. I don't recall really seeing that. But yeah, we want to get all 4 of these spinners correct so that activates an actual elevator instead of just burning people. I assume that's what we're going for. And when we do that, we'll save both of these guys, and then that will open up the door to saving this character, which I wouldn't be surprised if saving this character does play a part in the library, or the library is just extra. And we have now seen that there is a decent amount of potential extra areas, or secret areas, or in-game areas possibly. The fact that we haven't gotten a 3rd key item does bode well that we may have to go back and do this all over again. But then the fact that we are at 31 out of 52 cards now, we've just had this major spike in player cards now. That does seem to indicate that maybe there is just a bunch of extra stuff that you would just have to do extra or do right before you save this last guest. So yeah, I would say it feels like we may be closer to 2/3 of the way done with the game compared to 6/7 of the way done with the game. But who knows? It is also kind of weird that there's just this white paper at the bottom of this menu, which isn't really even a pause menu, but it's the only menu we have. In a funny way, I suppose this could have been a mobile game. I don't think it really was, but in 2017, maybe it would have pushed the graphics a little too hard, and that certainly would explain the chibi animations of characters if you were trying to make it more of a mobile game. I would say, if anything, this feels like something that was targeting a Nintendo Switch more than a cell phone screen, because the zoom out still would have been a problem if you were playing on a cell phone. And the controls on this game, you could certainly do with virtual buttons on the screen. It is just your standard up, down, left, right, A, B, X, Y buttons. But yeah, I think this is more for a Switch or consoles than it really was for like a cell phone game. But maybe they were thinking in development that they might try to target a cell phone version, and thus that's where the graphics come from. It may just also be that they decided to have unique chibi artistic characters, because there clearly is a line of obsessions here. Let's be obsessed with masks. Let's make masks be your central point of gaining power. Let's have all the bad guys in masks. Let's have all the good guys in masks. It's really, really heavy into the masks. And then there are also other fairly wild ideas thrown on top of magical masks, in which we have ghosts and time travel and murder mystery all mixed together. Still, I have to point out that this is way more easy to follow compared to the nonary games. Zero Time Dilemma in particular had so many cutscenes that it was fairly easy to follow, but 999, the first game in the nonary series, or Virtue's Last Reward, the second game in the series, got very overly convoluted with just different thoughts and different ideas. We see a little bit of that when we see books, and they mention like Metamorphosis as a book. That is very high-minded things you could throw out there. It's like, hey, I've read this book, hey, I'm smart, you should read this book, you'll be smart too. But you're only finding them on bookshelves in libraries. You're not having the actual characters talk about them. There is definitely problems still with the presentation, in which I really would have preferred to see more cutscenes after we save someone, to see like the full timeline. If there was like a sandbox mode where you could just follow people around. In a funny way, this whole narrative almost would work fairly well as just a animated TV show too, like a 7 episode, 12 episode animated Netflix direct to streaming show. Each episode showing you somebody's death and how the main character would go back in time and undo it without actually including any interaction at all, which is to say that the interaction in this game is somewhat minimal. I am just walking around clicking on things. I'm certainly not making specific decisions as to what I'm going to do when I click on a thing. That might work, although you probably would want 2 or 3 episodes per person, so it'd be closer to 21 episodes, because you would want to see the deaths and then have maybe an entire episode investigating each of the deaths, and then an entire episode making a plan and implementing the plan. You would want to try to turn it into something similar to the length of a Sherlock Holmes novel or a Sherlock Holmes TV show episode, which those tend to be a little bit longer than your average 22 minutes of an episode or less. Anyways, I'm going along here, so that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to further follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wish list. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.